Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong. Welcome to the back of his Teardown Lab. Some multi-action Supabright LEDs with 10 metres of cable and 8 metres of LEDs and 80 of them. Not as many as you get in Poundland, to be honest with you. I bought a string of 200 earlier, but that's fine. Sometimes you just don't want like 50 metres of LEDs unless you're really trying to glam up your house. Instructions and stuff, yeah, I don't think we care about that, do we? We're just going to shove that all back in the box. All the other detritus and throw it to side. That's your bundle, and there's your power supply. Now, what I wanted to do... Ooh, waterproof. Maybe I will just check the... Oh, yeah, it does say outdoor use. So, yeah, it is the sort of weird... I say waterproof. What are you going to do with that outside? Don't run it outside. Connector, 3-pin sort of DIN offset. Interesting enough. Then we're just going to plug this in. But what I wanted to do is actually just work out, see if we can figure out how the LEDs change colour, because I'm sure we're all quite amazed now with the sort of relative cheapness of these sort of LED systems. Sorry, get your plug over here. Turn it on. Woohoo! All the LED goodness. But what exactly is going on? I'm just going to have to really fetch it over. So I feel that we can probably crack this thing open. It's obviously some sort of junction box. I'm just going to unplug it just while I'm doing this, because I don't trust that there's not a live connection somehow spouting out on this thing. It's a pretty expensive set, as I said, for what it is compared to what you get in Poundland, so it should be quite good. It's from a reputable source. Not saying Poundland isn't, but it's got a reputation for having things that just cost £1. Right, that's in. This thing really is quite tenacious. It doesn't want to open, which is quite good when you think you've got kids and whatnot fannying around with the Christmas lights. You know, I'm not even sure I can get this open without breaking it. I might just probe the actual back end of that. So one more go, because it would be so much easier if there's just terminals in here to mess with. So actually thinking it might be glued. It's got these clips, but they don't want to yield their contents to me, so no, it's going to break. Let's not break this. I still might want to use them. I mean, look at it. It's so festive. It's so wonderful. Should we have a quick look at the programs while we're there? So blues and reds, greens, and that feels quite warm. No, I'm imagining it. Blues and reds, greens and orange. Blues and reds, different greens and orange, doing some sort of plan. So I can pretty much already guess how this is working, and I think you can at home too. I think we've got a common here and then just two sets. I don't really need to even buzz this out. I can see what it's doing. So yeah, there's not too much trickery on it. So the power supply thing has got obviously a microcontroller, and it's doing something interesting. So if you imagine you've just got two circuits, you basically got the red and green, and then the blue and red circuits, and then the green and amber circuits, and it's just flashing them. It's pulsing them in a variety of patterns. So to get it to do like this sort of dim effect, it's pulse width modulating. So it's, instead of being on 100% of the time, it's on for say 50% of the time or 20%, and that changes the brightness. And just by flicking the two, it can do that. I mean, there is sort of potential ways that you could do it. You could possibly run this with just two wires by changing the polarity of strings of the LEDs. It's a little bit more tedious, frankly, and wire's cheap, so they probably just do it this way. But yeah, that works really well. So I'm going to lash them up somewhere. Lash them up maybe around my head. And it'll be a wonderful experience for all. IP20 on the actual power supply. Let's just see while we're here the ratings of this. In case you see this in the shops. Premier Decorations Limited. Not really much going on the bottom. It in fact doesn't really tell you what the IP rating or anything on here, apart from that you can use them indoors or out. I'll just sort of get those various instructions we sort of threw away. Clear my desk. Oh. It's just talking about the transformer. I can see a picture of the transformer. It looks like a price list, so you might be able to sort of mail order certain parts. Huh, you can. You can order new transformers, a bit more juice. and all the different parts. Look, gutter clips, all of the bits for hooking these on sort of the outside of a building. Bulbs, lamps. I mean, this is a real company. Yeah, look, this Premier seems to actually have a proper range of these things. It's not just the usual tat you get from the high street. These were from CPC, so if you've got a CPC account, you can just go on there. I don't think you can go on there even if you don't have an account nowadays, and just order up these sets. And here is the basic instructions and safety information, so we can have a quick look. 31 volts. Yeah, the secondary on this is 31 volts indeed. It does say that. Never directly connected to main supply, etc., etc. Do not submerge in water. But yeah, apart from that, there's not really too many indications on the IP rating. So I guess it is what it is. They say it can be used outside, can bear the rain. Seems sealed enough. Have you fitted these to your house? Have you glammed up your building for Christmas? Please let me know. Click like, subscribe if you're that way inclined. And as ever, thanks for watching.